Like, comment, and subscribe.
Arav, Anya, and Rohan were the best of friends. They did everything together, from playing games to exploring the village.
They lived in the village of Whispering Woods, a place known for its tranquility and natural beauty. The village was peaceful and green, with lush landscapes that seemed to stretch endlessly. The children loved to play in the woods, where they would run, climb trees, and let their imaginations run wild.
One day, they heard a story from an old villager who spoke of ancient legends. It was about a magical bird named Morliya, a creature of wonder with glowing feathers.
Morliya lived in the heart of Morven Forest, a place few dared to venture. The forest was dark and mysterious, filled with shadows and secrets.
Legend said that Morliya could grant a wish to anyone who found her, making her a creature of great interest. Arav, Anya, and Rohan were excited beyond words. The idea of finding Morliya filled them with joy and anticipation. They wanted to find Morliya and make a wish that could change their lives forever.
They decided to go on an adventure. With hearts full of courage, they set out to find the magical bird.
The children packed some food, ensuring they had enough to sustain them on their journey. And water. They also took a map, carefully planning their route through the dense forest, and a compass. They were ready for their quest. With determination in their eyes, they embarked on their journey, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The next morning, the friends set off into Morven Forest. The sun was just beginning to rise, casting a golden hue over the landscape. They were filled with excitement and a sense of adventure, ready to uncover the secrets hidden within the ancient woods. The forest was dark and dense, with towering trees that seemed to touch the sky. The thick canopy allowed only slivers of light to penetrate, creating an eerie atmosphere. Strange noises filled the air, from the rustling of leaves to the distant calls of unknown creatures. Every sound seemed amplified in the stillness of the forest.
Arav led the way, compass in hand, his eyes scanning the path ahead. He was determined to guide his friends safely through the maze of trees.
Anya, the smartest of the three, studied the map intently. She traced their route with her finger, making sure they stayed on course.
Rohan, strong and brave, kept a lookout for danger. His keen eyes and sharp ears were always alert, ready to warn his friends of any threats.
The forest floor was covered in soft moss and fallen leaves, creating a natural carpet that muffled their footsteps. It felt like walking on a plush green blanket. The air was thick with the scent of pine and damp earth, a refreshing and invigorating aroma that filled their lungs with every breath. As they walked, they whispered stories to each other, sharing tales of bravery and adventure. These stories kept their spirits high and their minds focused on the journey ahead. This kept their spirits high, and their laughter echoed through the trees, a comforting sound in the otherwise silent forest. They were determined to find Morliya, the legendary place they had heard so much about. Their determination was unwavering, fueled by the stories and legends they had grown up with. The friends walked for hours, their legs growing tired but their resolve never faltering. They knew the journey would be long and arduous, but they were prepared for the challenge. Deeper into the forest, they came across a strange sight. It was a giant tree with silver bark.
This was the echoing tree, whispered Anya. The map mentioned it.
But there was a problem. The echoing tree spoke in riddles. It wouldn't let anyone pass unless they answered its riddle correctly.
What has no voice but can still speak?
Boomed the tree. Arav and Rohan scratched their heads. Anya closed her eyes and thought hard. Finally, she smiled.
An echo!
She declared. The echoing tree rustled its leaves and stepped aside, allowing them to pass. Their journey continued through the dense forest, filled with the sounds of chirping birds and rustling leaves. The children were excited, yet cautious, as they navigated the winding paths and towering trees. Soon, they reached a rushing river, its waters roaring loudly as they crashed against the rocks. The sight was both awe-inspiring and intimidating. The current was too strong to swim across, making it clear that they needed to come up with a different plan to get to the other side.
"This must be the raging river," said Rohan, pointing at the turbulent waters. The name seemed fitting for such a powerful force of nature. They needed to find a way to cross it. The group huddled together, brainstorming ideas and considering their options.
Anya suggested they build a raft, thinking it would be the safest way to navigate the strong currents. But they couldn't find enough logs to construct a sturdy raft. The forest floor was sparse, and the materials were limited.
Arav, always the adventurous one, suggested they jump over it. He was confident in his abilities, but the others were skeptical. But the river was too wide, and the risk was too great. They needed a safer, more reliable solution.
Rohan, ever resourceful, had an idea. He scanned the surroundings, looking for anything that could help them. He noticed a sturdy vine hanging from a tree. "We can swing across!" he exclaimed, his eyes lighting up with excitement.
The group cheered at the idea, feeling a renewed sense of hope and determination. Using Rohan's idea, they swung across the raging river one by one, each child gripping the vine tightly as they soared over the water. Their teamwork and creativity had helped them overcome another challenge, and they celebrated their success with high fives and cheers.